congressman and member of the House Budget Committee, Congressman Buddy Carter. A lot of questions for him on debt today. All right, let's start with you. Congressman Buddy Carter, obviously the spending number is interesting. I want to get your reaction to that because, you know, we keep seeing Americans complain about wallet issues, but they opened up their wallets more than we thought they would for the month of April.
Well, I'm not sure that they opened up their wallets more than they put more on their credit card. So that's what concerns me is, you know, the credit card debt has increased significantly here, and we're all aware of that. And I'm afraid that's going to lead to a lot of bad results here in the near future.
You know, Buddy Carter, I want to jump in here because what I'm looking at, I want to just go back to the consumer here for a second and these spending and income numbers, because the income for Americans it gained 0.4%, but that was in line. But that spending doubled the expectations. And, you know, so when you talk to your constituents, you talk to Americans, to voters, you know, we hear from our polling here at Fox that they're struggling, that the inflation is hurting their pocketbooks, that they're, you know, we've got layoffs have been hitting a lot of sectors. So I think that surprises me. Yes, is it a credit card situation? We know they're saving less. How worried are you about the consumer? And frankly, that's the voter as well.
Well, it is, and I'm very worried, very concerned. What I'm hearing in the district, of course, people continue to complain about inflation, about the rise in prices and how much they're having to pay. They are continuing to complain about gasoline prices, which seem to be ticking up, as you would expect during the first of the summer, and seem to always go up during the summertime when we travel more. But at the same time, people are concerned. They're concerned about their disposable income, and it's almost non-existent now. And it's always a topic of conversation whenever I meet with constituents.
Yeah.
Congressman, we're seeing that unlike with the Obama debt ceiling debate, voters are really putting the blame for this crisis on Biden, and they're wanting spending cuts. 60% want to increase the debt ceiling with spending cuts. 15% don't want them to raise it at all. So my question is, with inflation coming in this much hotter, is that leverage for the Republicans to get Biden to the table and pass more spending cuts? Because what's the risk if fiscal policy is working opposite monetary policy? Isn't the alternative just more rate hikes?
Well, and I think that's what we're going to see. And but yes, you know, people have made it clear to us that they need the government to stop spending so much money. That's what's caused the inflation. When the government spends this much money, and it results in inflation. You know, you can make the argument, and I would submit to you that what has happened in our economy has been self-inflicted. Keep in mind that this administration, day one, declared war on fossil fuels, resulting in higher gasoline prices, resulting in higher inflation, resulting in higher interest rates, resulting in the mess that we have right now. That's why, yes, we want spending cuts as a part of the negotiations of the debt ceiling, but we also want permit reform. We also included in the Limit, Save, and Grow Act, we also included H.R. 1, the Lowering Energy Cost Act. That's what's going to help us. We need to cut spending, but we also need to grow our economy.
Congressman Buddy Carter, where are we? Do we have a deal? Are we close to having a deal?
We are close to having a deal. We are not going to default. We are going to keep the full faith and credit of the United States there. It's going to be there, I can assure you. The majority leader announced yesterday and at our session that, you know, we'd be given 24-hour notice to get back, that we followed the 72-hour rule, that we would be able to look at the agreement and study it before we had to vote on it. I'm very confident that the negotiators are going to get this done if Joe Biden will commit to getting it done. Look, the reason we're in this mess right now is because Joe Biden wasted so much time saying he did not want to negotiate. You know, if he would have worked on negotiating for this debt ceiling as much as he's worked on trying to take our gas stoves away, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in right now.
Tiana?
Kevin McCarthy has obviously totally flipped the script, right? Took 15 votes to make him House Speaker, and now he's able to coalesce the entire GOP for this debt ceiling increase vote. So here's my question. If Joe Biden decides to strap on the suicide vest and go forward with the 14th Amendment, I'm assuming that that's tantamount to a technical default, if not an actual default. What then? What is the state of the inflation? His own economists are predicting that inflation and unemployment would hit the double digits if he does hit a technical default. So is he preparing any contingency plans for that? I mean, 4.7% core PCE is bad. 10% is worse.
Congressman?
Listen, even Obama said the 14th Amendment does not apply here. And Joe Biden was part of the Obama administration. He should understand that. The 14th Amendment is off the table. We shouldn't be talking about it at all.
So my question is for Congressman Carter. Has the Treasury given you any sort of financial modeling, any sort of books or anything any sort of hard data other than Janet Yellen just saying June 1st is her deadline? Or is it just Janet Yellen's word?
It's just Janet Yellen's word, as far as I know. Now, I'm not privy to perhaps some of the information that has been released, but I will tell you that we are very skeptical of this date. We do think it's a manufactured date. We do think this is part of the ploy, the negotiations, if you will, that she's trying to use scare tactics to move things along.
You know, it's interesting, too, Congressman, because all of this kind of plays into what we're seeing in the polling. And we talked about this earlier with another guest about the fact that if you look at how Americans are feeling and how they're rating the U.S. economy and who they're blaming, it is President Biden. These are brand new Fox News polls. So, Congressman, if the economy is the #1 issue and the #1 pain point for the U.S. consumer, and we get a deal on the debt ceiling, what's the next step? What is the next action that needs to be taken by congressional Republicans to make sure that the economy heals?
Well, part of the negotiations right now are that we will pass 12 appropriations bills. I think if we can show, excuse me, that we are fiscally responsible, and we are, I think if we can prove that by passing 12 appropriation bills, I think the American public will have faith and confidence that the Republicans can get this straightened out, that we can get this done.
15 seconds there. Congressman Buddy Carter, final thought.
Final thought, guys. Great panel, great points. Relax. We're going to get this done. I promise.
You say it with the Southern accent, and I just feel so calm when you address me like that, Congressman Carter. That's very good. I like that. All right.